It started with a whisper, a tiny rumor buried in the corner of social media. But within hours, that whisper turned into a wildfire, and now, the entire internet is asking the same question. Did Blueface really betray the one person who stood by him the most while pretending he had nothing to hide? Because late last night, something happened. Something messy. Something so unexpected that even longtime followers were stunned into silence. A blurry clip surfaced. A suspicious photo leaked. And suddenly fans were piecing together screenshots that hinted at a secret move Blueface allegedly made behind everyone's back. And the most shocking part? The one person who should have known first reportedly found out the same way the rest of the world did, through a viral post. The disbelief, the humiliation, the heartbreak playing out in real time as thousands watched. Sources say the energy online shifted from confusion to outrage, from curiosity to chaos. People are calling it the ultimate betrayal, a stunt that crosses every line, especially after everything this trio has already been through. But what really happened behind the scenes? Who is lying? Who is covering something up? And who just got played in the most public way possible? The truth is darker than anyone expected. And we're just getting started. Blueface has always been one of those celebrities who lives with the spotlight glued to him, whether he wants it or not. Ever since his breakout moment in hip-hop, he's built a reputation that's as chaotic as it is captivating. A persona crafted from controversy, unpredictability, and a habit of turning every personal moment into public entertainment. Fans describe him as bold, reckless, blunt, unapologetic. Critics call him manipulative and intentionally provocative. But no matter which side you fall on, one thing is undeniable. Blueface knows how to stay relevant, even when it comes at the cost of peace. Then there's Hazel E., reality TV royalty, famous for her fierce personality, on-air feuds, and a long history of dramatic relationships that always seem to end up trending. She's been in and out of the spotlight for years, reinventing herself with every comeback. Publicly, she prides herself on independence, resilience, and the ability to bounce back from toxic situations. But people who followed her career know she's also drawn to emotional chaos, or maybe chaos is drawn to her. On the opposite end of this tangled triangle is Chrisean, the fan favorite who's built her entire public image on raw emotion, authenticity, and a willingness to show every unfiltered moment. She's messy, she's beautiful, she's volatile, but she's real, and that's why millions connect with her. Every tear, every laugh, every angry outburst feels honest, no matter how explosive it gets. She's been through heartbreak, betrayal, public humiliation, and somehow she's always stood back up. These three, Blueface Hazel E. and Chrisean, should have never been in the same story. Yet here they are, caught in a scandal that no one saw coming, or maybe some people saw it all along. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to look at their history. Blueface and Chrisean weren't just a couple. They were a spectacle, a live-action emotional roller coaster that fans tuned into like it was a weekly series. There were fights, breakups, makeups, tears, hospital visits, music collaborations, and dramatic Instagram lives at 3 a.m. Their relationship was chaotic, but beneath the chaos, Chrisean always seemed to hold on to one belief, that despite everything, Blueface still cared about her in some deep, complicated way. Hazel E., meanwhile, represented something entirely different: maturity, motherhood, a desire for stability. Publicly, she had moved past the petty drama and was focused on healing and rebuilding. At least, that's what she claimed. But a few weeks ago, fans noticed something strange. Hazel started posting subtle quotes about new beginnings, letting go of the past, and trusting destiny. At first, people chalked it up to the usual influencer wellness content, until they didn't. The first real hint that something was brewing came from a Twitter post by an anonymous gossip account. It read, "Two celebrities you'd never expect are about to shock the internet. Trust me, receipts loading." People ignored it at first, until the account replied to its own tweet with a ring emoji and two very familiar silhouettes. Then Hazel posted a selfie that fans still haven't stopped analyzing. She's in a car, dressed up, makeup perfect, hair flawless. But the part that sent the internet into chaos wasn't her face. It was what was slightly visible in the reflection of her sunglasses. Behind her, blurred but definitely recognizable, was someone who looked suspiciously like Blueface. "Is that him?" one user commented. "Girl, why is she with Blueface?" Another asked. Hazel didn't respond. She didn't delete the post either. She just let the confusion swirl. Meanwhile, Blueface was on Instagram stories posting cryptic messages that only made things messier. One of them said, "Life's too short for regrets. Do what feels right." Another said, "Sometimes you gotta keep your moves private." Fans assumed he was talking about music, or maybe an upcoming project. Nobody imagined he was hinting at something far more personal. But the biggest clue, the one that pushed people over the edge, came from a fan who reportedly spotted Hazel E. and Blueface together outside what looked like a small private event space. The fan claimed they were dressed way too nice. Something was going on. She looked happy. He looked nervous. The fan posted a blurry photo, and while it's far from definitive proof, the timing aligned a little too perfectly with Hazel's New Beginnings captions and Blueface's emotional posts. This is where Chrisean unknowingly enters the picture again. At the time of all this, she had been quiet, focused on her baby, trying to rebuild her image. She hadn't addressed Blueface in days, maybe weeks. But suddenly, out of nowhere, she posted a message on her Instagram story that felt like a shot fired into the dark. Imagine finding out the truth online like everybody else. She quickly deleted it, but not fast enough. Screenshots were everywhere within minutes. Fans started asking questions. What truth was she talking about? What did she see? Who told her? Why did she delete it? And that's when a rumor of a secret wedding, allegedly involving Blueface and Hazel E., exploded across social media, leaving everyone in disbelief, confusion, and anticipation of what would come next. The timeline leading to the alleged scandal didn't unfold in one dramatic moment. It built slowly, piece by piece, like a puzzle no one realized they were putting together until the final picture started to reveal itself. And when it did, it felt like a gut punch to fans who had followed every messy chapter of this trio story. It began almost 2 weeks before the rumor exploded. Blueface had been unusually quiet online. For an artist known for impulsive tweets, reckless Instagram lives, and public feuds that could start at any hour of the night, the silence was noticeable. People assumed he was laying low, maybe focusing on music, maybe avoiding drama. But now, looking back, fans believe he was planning something, allegedly something big, far away from prying eyes. Around the same time, Hazel posted what seemed like an innocent motivational video on TikTok. She talked about stepping into a new chapter and choosing peace over chaos. At the time, nobody gave a second thought. But after the rumors surfaced, the video's comments filled with questions. Is this about Blueface? Were y'all planning something even back then? New chapter equals marriage? Hazel didn't respond, which only added more fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, Chrisean was juggling motherhood, her music, and the emotional whiplash of her complicated history with Blueface. She had been posting more centered, grounded content, gym sessions, baby updates, studio clips. For once, it felt like she was trying to redirect her life to heal. Fans praise her. "We love this new version of you. Stay focused, queen. Leave the drama behind." But behind closed doors, sources say tensions had been building. People close to her allegedly noticed she was on edge, sensing something was off, but unable to pinpoint why. She felt it. One insider reportedly claimed she didn't know what it was, but she felt something shifting. Then came the first real shock, a message from a fan account claiming they saw Blueface and Hazel E. together at a private venue outside Los Angeles. The picture posted was grainy, taken from far away, and could have easily been a lookalike, but the shapes, the outfits, the time it all lined up too perfectly. Commentators started speculating. Is this a collab? Are they filming something? Why would they be together without announcing it? Another fan then claimed the venue was decorated earlier that day with white flowers and drapery, like someone was preparing for a celebration. But things didn't explode until a well-known hip-hop blogger tweeted, "Big news coming. A certain rapper just made a major life move and didn't tell his fans or his ex." That tweet alone sent the internet spiraling. Within hours, more blurry photos leaked. One allegedly showed Hazel holding what looked like a bouquet. Another supposedly showed Blueface adjusting a white jacket. None of it was confirmed, but the internet didn't need confirmation. People were already choosing sides. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. He wouldn't do that to Chrisean. Hazel wouldn't be that messy. There's got to be a PR stunt. I need proof before I believe this. But the tension reached a breaking point when Chrisean went live. She didn't start the live with her usual chaotic humor or half-distracted energy. Instead, she looked still, too still. Her eyes kept darting at her phone, as if she was reading something shocking right before hitting go live. And then it happened. That moment fans keep replaying. She inhaled sharply, her voice cracked, and she said, "So this is how I find out? Online?" Really, she didn't name names. She didn't confirm anything. But that line was enough to ignite a digital wildfire. Clips went viral in minutes, shared by reaction channels, commentators, TikTok editors, and gossip pages across every platform. Some viewers believed they saw real heartbreak. Others said she looked angry, betrayed, blindsided. A few skeptics accused her of acting, but the majority felt her pain as if it were their own. Meanwhile, Blueface's silence grew louder. He didn't deny anything. He didn't clarify. Instead, he posted a laughing emoji on Twitter, one single emoji, which fans interpreted as either mockery or deflection. That post alone generated tens of thousands of comments, many of them furious. Are you laughing at her pain? Just tell the truth. Why don't you clear things up? Hazel also remained silent, though eagle-eyed followers noticed she liked a comment under her recent photo that said, "You deserve happiness no matter who gets mad." That small action was screenshotted and circulated like a digital smoke signal. As more bloggers, podcasters, and celebrities weighed in, the story snowballed. One reality TV star tweeted, "Always trust your intuition. People move shady behind closed doors." A rapper who previously collaborated with Blueface added, "Some dudes love chaos. They're not happy unless someone else is hurting." And behind all this noise, a new alleged detail emerged. Someone from the event venue supposedly leaked that a private ceremony took place that day, names undisclosed, purpose undisclosed. Whether it was a wedding, an engagement, or something else entirely remains unconfirmed. But the timing matched perfectly with the rumors. By the time the day ended, fans were left with three possibilities. Blueface made a secret move behind everyone's back. Hazel played a bigger role than she's letting on. And Chrisean was left to discover everything with the rest of the world. But what really happened that night? Who knew what and when? And why is everyone involved being so cryptic? The truth, whatever it is getting harder to ignore. And the next chapter might be even more explosive. The fallout from the alleged scandal didn't just hit the internet. It rippled through every corner of Blueface's life, professionally and personally. What began as whispers and blurry photos quickly transformed into a full-blown crisis for everyone involved. And the deeper fans dug, the more contradictions they uncovered between the public personas these celebrities presented and the private actions now being exposed. Within 24 hours of the rumor exploding, Blueface management reportedly went into damage control mode. Sources say team members began contacting blogs, asking them to remove unverified claims and wait for official statements. But the problem was simple. Official statements weren't coming. Blueface stayed silent, letting speculation swirl like a tornado around his name. And in the absence of clarity, the internet did what it always does. It connected dots, filled in gaps, and created narratives based on the smallest hints. While Blueface avoided speaking up, the consequences started adding up. Fans began digging up past interviews where he emphasized loyalty, honesty, and keeping it real. Clips resurfaced of him telling Chrisean, "You'll always know the truth from me." Commentators blasted the irony, pointing out how drastically his actions contradicted those promises. One podcast host tweeted, "You can't preach loyalty and transparency and then allegedly pull off a secret wedding behind the mother of your child's back." That sentiment went viral, becoming a meme across TikTok and Instagram. Back on Chrisean's side, the emotional consequences were even more apparent. While she tried to keep a strong front, sources close to her reportedly said she was devastated, not just by the rumor itself, but by how she found out. She felt humiliated, one insider claimed, not because he moved on, but because he couldn't even be honest about it. Another source described her as torn between anger and sadness, trying to protect her peace, but struggling to reconcile what she was seeing online with what she believed about Blueface's character. Her family reportedly stepped in, urging her to stay offline and focus on her healing. But by then, the internet had already clipped every second of her emotional live reactions and turned them into viral content. Reaction channels dissected her facial expressions, lip-read her murmurs, and speculated on the conversations happening off-camera. To fans, it wasn't just celebrity drama. It felt like a deeply personal betrayal they were witnessing in real time. The consequences didn't stop there. The alleged scandal sparked conversations about respect, transparency, and emotional manipulation. Critics accused Blueface of hypocrisy, pointing out how he often demanded loyalty from the women in his life, but repeatedly acted in ways that undermined their trust. A viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Blueface plays the victim, the villain, and the hero all at once, but never the accountable one. When it came to Hazel E., the fallout was more complicated. Her public persona has always walked a tightrope between empowerment and controversy, but this situation pushed her into a different realm. Suddenly, she was positioned as the alleged other woman, despite her own claims of wanting peace and stability. Fans questioned her motives, especially since she had recently publicly advocated for sisterhood and supporting women. Her silence only fueled the backlash. Beneath her Instagram posts, the comments turned brutal. "This messy behavior doesn't look like healing. Why would you hurt another woman like this? This is low even for you." Meanwhile, behind the scenes, a rumor emerged that Hazel's team was preparing a statement, but they were waiting to see whether Blueface would deny or confirm the marriage story. Allegedly, the fear was that if she said something first, she'd look guilty. If she said nothing, she'd look complicit. Either way, her reputation was now tied to a storyline she never publicly acknowledged. Then came the most severe consequence: the legal angle. A blogger posted a leaked DM claiming that an event venue staff member saw marriage paperwork being processed. No documents surfaced publicly, but the idea alone triggered speculation about legal implications. If Blueface and Hazel actually got married, what would that mean for custody arrangements? Financial obligations? Public image? Some fans pointed out that Blueface had been publicly pushing for more involvement with his children and questioned how a secret marriage might affect co-parenting with other mothers. To make matters worse, another insider claimed that Chrisean's team was considering issuing a statement about the emotional distress the situation caused her. While no legal action was mentioned, the suggestion that she might speak out formally added yet another layer of pressure to an already combustible situation. Public perception spiraled even further when supporters of Chrisean began pointing out moments from the past few months that now seemed suspicious. Times Blueface disappeared for days, cryptic posts Hazel made, and mysterious vacation rumor that never got explained. Commentators pieced together a timeline so detailed it looked like a courtroom investigation. Blue disappears for 48 hours. Hazel posts new beginnings quote. Hazel deletes a photo. Blue posts private moves. Fan spots them together. Chrisean posts imagine finding out online. Then the wedding rumor drops. It felt orchestrated, intentional, almost cinematic, and that made the emotional stakes even higher. As the world kept watching, the contrast between public image and private behavior grew more jarring. Blueface, who always preached realness, appeared to hide one of the biggest moments of his life. Hazel, who claimed spiritual growth, was now allegedly at the center of a scandal hurting another woman. And Chrisean, who had fought publicly for love and loyalty, was left standing alone, forced to process humiliation in front of millions. And yet, no one involved had spoken the truth. No confirmations. No denials. Just silence, cryptic posts, and a growing sense that the scandal was far from over. Because the deeper the internet dug, the more inconsistencies appeared, and the more it seemed like someone, somewhere was hiding something big. And that brings us to the wildest part of this entire situation. The fact that nothing has been confirmed, nothing has been denied, and yet the emotional damage, the online chaos, and the public fallout are all very, very real. We watched Blueface's silence speak louder than any statement ever could. We watched Hazel E's mysterious smiles and cryptic posts raise more questions than answers. And we watched Chrisean Rock, in real time, experience a moment no one deserves, finding out about a life-changing rumor with the rest of the internet watching. So now the real question becomes, what do you think actually happened here? Do you believe Blueface secretly crossed a line he promised he'd never cross? Do you think Hazel knowingly stepped into the center of the storm? Or is this all just another social media misunderstanding blown way out of proportion? Because at this point, the timelines aren't adding up, the behaviors aren't matching the narratives, and the silence from everyone involved is only making the story bigger. Did someone lie? Did someone cover something up? Or is the internet seeing a pattern that isn't really there? And what about Chrisean's reaction? Was it justified? Would you have reacted differently if you were in her place, finding out something so personal through a viral post? Drop your thoughts below, because this story is far from over. In fact, insiders say this might just be the beginning of a much bigger mess. If any new clips leak, if any statements drop, or if any receipts surface, you already know. We'll be right here breaking it down piece by piece. So tell me, who do you think is telling the truth, and who's hiding the biggest secret of all? Comment your theories. Share this with your friends, and let's unpack this chaos together. This saga is only getting started.